Hello everybody and welcome to another reaction video, and today we're going to be looking at a band called Hanggai. I think that's how it's pronounced. This was suggested to me a while back when I did one of the Who tracks, because as I understand it they are a Mongolian band. So obviously did myself a little bit of research. I didn't really come up with very much, unfortunately, but what I found was Hanggai are a Inner Mongolian folk music group who specialise in a blend of Mongolian folk music and more modern styles such as punk rock. Their songs incorporate traditional folk lyrics as well as original compositions and are sung in Mongolian and Mandarin. The term Hanggai itself is a Mongolian word referring to an idealised natural landscape of sprawling grasslands, mountains, rivers, trees and blue skies. There we go. Now, the track I'm going to be looking at today is a track called The Rising Sun. I spent a little while looking around and I found a English translation of the lyrics. I'm not sure how good the translation itself will be. I did check the video and it doesn't have subtitles or closed captions on it, so that's not an option. So we'll see what we've got with the English translation. So yes, I'm interested to have a look at this, investigate a different avenue of Mongolian music again, and we'll see where this goes. So I think we'll go straight to it. So The Rising Sun by Hanggai. Very interesting. That's not what I was expecting at all. And I mean, it says that they're a folk music group, but they add in more modern styles. And it might just be me, but this has got a certain feel of old Depeche Mode to it. It might just be me. I might be losing my marbles, but it's got a very slightly Depeche Mode feel to it. It's very interesting, and I really like it. It's I don't know how to describe it. It's it's got a subtle feel to it, you know. It's not like really in your face. The music isn't like thumping right there. It's a sort of really subtle sound. You've got that really cool, drum beat in the background. There's the bass in there as well. It sounds very, very interesting. I'm quite intrigued by this. The song itself seems to be about a guy talking about a partner that's either now left and gone, or they're sort of remembering a time back to when things used to be better. I'm not entirely sure. Because the lyrics go, the rising sun over the morning mists, in the fog, the two of us. Those unforgettable times 3 years ago, the intoxication, asleep, the two of us. Growing there in the morning mists, the mountains behind it may come out. I'm missing the times 3 years ago, asleep and dreaming of the two of us. The rising sun over the morning mists, in the fog, the two of us. Those unforgettable times 3 years ago, the intoxication, asleep, the two of us. Growing there in the morning mists, the mountains behind it may come out. I'm missing the times 3 years ago, asleep and dreaming, the two of us. So, it just seems to be repeating the same two verses over and over again. Which, well, it's a little bit... I normally call that like lazy songwriting, when you just repeat the same part over and over and over again. But there's just something about the way this song sounds. It sounds really good, and the actual wording of the song is actually quite nice. It's got quite a beautiful feel to it, using all the symbolism of like the morning mist, the rising sun, the mountains, and the feeling of asleep and dreaming, like remembering how they used to be or whatever it might have been. So, I quite like this actually. It's quite nice. It's quite a nice relaxing piece of music. We'll carry on. there we go. That was very, very interesting. As we came back, there was that sort of instrumental bit, which was actually really quite beautiful. Again, really soft and very melodic. And then, of course, the vocals came back in, and again, it was still repeating those same two verses. The rising sun over the morning mist and the fog, the two of us. Those unforgettable times 3 years ago, the intoxication, asleep, the two of us. Growing there in the morning mists, the mountains behind it may come out. I'm missing the times 3 years ago, asleep and dreaming of the two of us. And then it just pulls out 2 lines saying, I'm missing the times 3 years ago, asleep and dreaming, the two of us. I mean, it's not an incredibly deep or detailed song, but it is a beautifully written song, and the music is amazing. You know, like I said, it's a very sort of subtle song. It's a piece of music you can just sit and relax to. You know, it's a really sort of chilled piece of music, until they pulled that blind at the end, because you know you had that sort of thundering drum at the end that almost sounded like the intro to the Terminator films. You know, dun 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 dun, sounded like the beginning of Terminator, and then you know that sort of faded out into nothing, and then they came in with that guitar solo right at the end, which sort of almost jerked you out of the moment. You know, you sort of chilled out, and then all of a sudden, boing, you know, you've got a sudden burst of energy thrown in at the end. But it was very, very good. You know, it was a beautiful sounding piece of music. It was sung beautifully as well. You know, the 2 different vocalists that were there got 2 very different voices, and they both work together very, very well. And again, as I've said many, many times, I like different vocal styles in music, and it mixes it up really nicely. I really liked that. I would be interested to hear some more of their stuff to see if it's similar or if they have a large, variation throughout their music. I liked that. I liked that very much. And I've got a deep love for foreign music as well anyway, so very, very interesting. Very, very cool. But I'll leave that one as it is. If anybody would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so. You can drop a comment in the comment section below, or you can message me on my Facebook or my Instagram, or you can message me on my Patreon, should you feel the urge to support me and help me make these videos. That would be fantastic, but obviously it's not necessary. But yeah, you can suggest me a song, but do know that if you do suggest a track, it will take me a while to get around to it, because I get suggested so many tracks every single day. I can't record them fast enough. For every 1 video I record, I get suggested another 12, so my list grows really, really quickly. But I do write down every suggestion I get, so it will get done eventually. It just will take me a while to get around to it. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. They are a British-based charity whose main focus is to put an end to hate crimes, specifically those aimed towards people of the alternative subculture, those that listen to alternative music or wear alternative fashion. And it's something I think really needs more attention drawn to it, because every single day we hear of hate crimes all over the world. Like in the news, on social media, we hear about racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, religious hatred, prejudice against disabled people, that sort of thing. We hear about that every single day. But what we don't hear enough about are the people that are getting violently attacked, violently abused, just because of their taste in music, just because of the taste of clothes that they wear. You know, it's something that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, things like sexism, homophobia and all that, they don't make sense to me. And this doesn't make sense to me either. There is no logic behind it. You know, people are attacking people because they don't like their taste in music. How the hell does that make any sense? How does their taste in music affect you in any way? How does that have any effect on your life? It doesn't. So what does attacking them do? You know, what does it accomplish? Absolutely nothing. You know, you don't beat someone up because they like different movies to you. You don't beat someone up because they like different TV shows to you. You don't beat someone up because they like a different flavour of crisps to you. So why beat someone up because they like a different type of music to you. It makes no sense. You know, and you know, they're not just like being jostled about and stuff like that. These people are getting violently attacked. You know, in the past, my older brother has been attacked with a baseball bat. I've had other friends that have been violently attacked. I myself have been violently attacked several times just because of the clothes I'm wearing, just because of the music that I listen to. And it doesn't affect the attackers in any way. You know, they're not actually hearing the music that I'm listening to. I'm not forcing them to look at what I'm wearing. If they don't want to look at the clothes I'm wearing, they can look anywhere else. There is an infinite number of directions they can look in. So, you know, just shift the gaze 1 centimetre to the side, you won't be looking at it. It's that simple. But for some reason, they seem to think that violently attacking people like myself and many million of others around the world, they seem to think they're justified in this action somehow. But you ask them, they cannot give a valid justification for their actions. And it's something that needs to stop, because people are getting seriously hurt. Like, you know, you take the example of Sophie Lancaster. You know, this girl was beaten to death because of her taste in music and clothes. It's unbelievable. It is disgusting that that sort of thing should happen over music. I mean, it's appalling. And it needs to stop. More attention needs to be brought to this to stop this from happening again. And this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is trying to do. They don't want to see anybody else have to go through what they went through when Sophie was killed, you know. So they want to put a stop to this. And, you know, I think it's very worthwhile, because if people are losing their lives over something so trivial, what the hell hope is there for the human race, you know? Seeing people are going to be beating each other to death because somebody prefers black coffee over a frappe, you know. It's getting out of control, it's getting ridiculous, and it needs to stop. So if you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can go over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, find out what their goal is, because they can explain it so much better than I can, because I go off on random tangents and rants. And if you can help them in any way at all, even something as simple as like one of these Sophie wristbands, it's a huge help. It makes all the difference. The smallest amount can make the biggest difference. And the sooner we bring more attention to this, the sooner we can stamp out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.